I imagine it will not be a quick or easy conversation. I pray that he is of a mind to speak of such things. I am certain that my words will... never mind. What must be done, must be done. I would wager that you are weary after the day's events. Perhaps you should take this opportunity to get some rest.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Guardian Moon. The Delusional Prince. Prince Dimitri and the remnants of the royal army join with the remaining Knights of Seiros to form a revitalized kingdom army. Using Garreg Mach as their base of operations, they rise to action against the Empire.
You? So you were alive after all.
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Gilbert has told us everything. From here on, our strength is yours as well.
Does my heart well to see that all of you are safe. Now that we have all gathered, let's discuss our next course of action.
We have two objectives: to overthrow the Empire and to rescue Rhea. I have no objection to joining forces with you. After all, our interests are aligned.
Nothing could be more reassuring than securing the cooperation of the Knights of Seiros.
The Archbishop entrusted all of her affairs to you. From now on, I shall comply with your wishes.
We'll make Garreg Mach our base, and prepare to make our stand against the Empire. There is a fair amount of damage, but we will at least have shelter from the wind and rain. Garreg Mach may be a strategic location, but it's too far from the front lines to be worthy of notice at the moment. This area is inconvenient as far as transport time is concerned, so it's of little importance to their war effort.
Even so, nothing slips past the Emperor. It is safe to assume she at least has this place under surveillance.
Professor, what do you think about making this place our base? Fortunately, there are still villages and hamlets nearby, and though I wouldn't call them abundant, we have war funds as well. What do you think, Your Highness?
Do as you please.
Hey, don't act like this doesn't concern you. We finally reunited after all this time. We've got to work together.
She's right. In fact, why don't we all join forces and clean this place up a bit?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And it'll give us time to reminisce about all the good old days at the Academy. I can't wait.
How carefree of you.
It may sound trivial, but, well, I think it's a good idea.
I understand feeling impatient, Your Highness, but patience is key at a time like this. If we fix up our base, it will improve morale, which will be sorely needed as we...
Fools. Stay out of this.
Please, calm yourself, Your Highness. We are not your enemies.
My enemies say the same.
What happened to him? It's like he's a completely different person.
I feel so bad for him. Would it help if I brewed him a nice pot of tea?
I cannot claim to understand how he feels. However, the way he's behaving, it's as though he's being haunted by some unseen force. As am I.
Another failure! How? Was there an error in my calculations? I had precious few materials as things stood. Where will I get more once these run out? Oh, don't act so rueful. You carried out my directions faithfully. Neither the credit nor the blame ought to be yours. My grand achievement is further away than I had hoped. House Nouvelle's future seems so dim. You're correct, of course. I mustn't be discouraged. It is hard to maintain one's patience after 5 years. But in the greater context of the history of House Nouvelle, 5 years is barely worth counting. I have been in a low place indeed to require so much reassurance. And for your reassurance, I am truly grateful. You have spurred me to continue my research. You've been useful to me in many ways, in fact. Research assistant, confidant, test subject. All of this is preparing you well for your greater role to come. My personal attendant! There are few as naturally servile as you in all of Fódlan. When House Nouvelle is at long last restored, we simply must find the proper position for you. Granted, this will be difficult, perhaps even impossible to accept, given your current status. But I rarely let the impossible stop me. I shall see it all done. The restoration of my house, installing you as my servant, and more. Are you ready for the next steps? Oh, come now. My sulk ended minutes ago. Do keep up. But on the rare occasion that I find myself at a loss, I grant you permission to lift my spirits. I don't know that I care for the hint of resignation in your tone, but no matter. I expect you to do your all for the sake of my house nonetheless.
Thank you.
have time for a request.
Got a favor to ask.
Really now? I hope things go back to normal. Hey, how about a favor?
You're kidding.
Hey, I could use a hand.
I need a favor. Listen.
Oh, hi, Professor. Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just, now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do? I can't relax if I'm doing nothing. I need something to keep me occupied or I'll go nuts. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh! You're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end. Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and delicious, and it goes so well with piping hot tea. Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible. I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks. Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. Oh, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work. Professor? You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, and also, well, thank you. You've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
Right. Oh, good. Thanks.
There is room to enrich myself further.
have a question. I get it. Professor.
I see how this works.
Aha!
Age is but a number.
Listen to the others and harmonize. Work together. The same in music as on the battlefield.
This is no good. Sing from your diaphragm. Lo! Get it? Lo!
Really?
I'm finally grasping.
Professor.
Thanks.
Of course.
Hey, Professor. I might have to go back home for a little while. Oh no, nothing like that. The Almiran forces are causing trouble at Fodlan's Locket. Oh, do you know where that is? Well, the mountain range that separates the Alliance from Almira is called Fodlan's Throat. There's a fortress right on top of the throat, and they call that Fodlan's Locket. Well, yeah, you could say that. I'm sure my brother would be able to handle them on his own. But he said he really wants me to help out. I guess he's a bit tired out from all his hard work. Anyway, our dad's not as sprightly as he used to be. He's not up for a fight. Apparently it would look bad if we left it to the retainers. I really, really don't want to go, but I guess I have to.
Hey, Hilda. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard you talking.
Hmm? Oh, what's up, Cyril?
You're gonna fight the Almirans, yeah?
Yes, but it's nothing you need to worry about, Cyril.
It's not that. I was just wondering if maybe I could go along with you.
But you'd be fighting people from your homeland. Do you really want to do that?
None of them would remember me anyway. It's just that I got captured in the battle at the Locket, and that's how I ended up here. So I'm kinda worried that other kids who lose their folks might not be so lucky. Before Lady Rhea took me in, I had a real hard time as a servant of House Goneril.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it's not like I'll go around snapping up all Myron children.
That's good, but I want to see things for myself, so I know that everything's okay.
Well then, let's go together. Oh, would you want to join us, Professor? My brother will be there, but I'm a little scared about fighting all those fierce Almyrans.
If you could come too, it'd be really great. We'd all feel way safer if you did.
Great! I know we'll be okay if you're there. Let's head out right away.
I'll go and get ready too.
Most of our allies have fallen. My big brother and I can probably handle this, though.
Hilda, glad you made it. Lord Holst has been afflicted with a sudden illness and couldn't come.
He's not here? Oh, I'm sorry. You must have been absolutely terrified. It's okay, though. I brought along someone who can definitely help us. That's you, Professor. Please help us save our allies and protect Fódlan's Locket.
Good thing I knew about this back road, huh? We ought to be able to help our friends from here.
I'll cut through. I'll comply.
Shall we?
What's my strategy?
Support! We're saved!
Thank you. Oh, fighting wears me out. I'm your girl. It had to be done. Sunshine. Why not?
Let's go.
At your service. Sorry, but it's you or me.
More fighting.
Tragic end.
Not bad.
Fortune is kind. I assume a stray arrow finished it.
Gotta use your head sometimes.
Same old.
You fought well.
All this violence, and for what?
One to remember.
I expect no less. Eventually, I too will fall.
Fate turns against you. They were sure to perish.
can't afford to slack off.
You should run. This is my stage now. Time for your last dance. Only thorns left on this rose.
Amazing. Ah, things are looking up. Let's keep going and save the others. We did it somehow. Cyril, Professor, thank you.
You bet.
I'm gonna drop by my family's estate and complain to my brother a bit. You two should head back.
They aren't really trying to cross Fódlan's throat. I'm not saying they're not serious, but fights like this one aren't really invasions. They just start fights like this sometimes. It's so they can show off how strong they are. I think it's pretty dumb. I mean, people are getting killed. And why? So some guy can think he's tough? After every fight, they do a big feast and everybody eats and dances and there's music. It's supposed to honor the dead, but I figure they just like to make noise. I think they're all idiots, but if I'm real honest, it wasn't the worst way to live life. Nah, I'm where I belong now, and I don't really like Almyra. If they want to show how tough they are, then they ought to look after kids who've lost their parents.
Whew, I'm tired. Professor, Cyril, thanks for all your help.
You get a chance to see your brother?
I did, though I think I'd be better off otherwise. He was horribly ill, for one thing. He looked so pale and haggard. Apparently, he'd eaten a bad mushroom before the battle, and it made him horribly sick. What an idiot. Anyway, when I told him we'd handled the Almyran situation, he was just gushing with praise. I tried telling him that it wasn't all me, but he didn't even listen. That did feel pretty good, I'll admit. But then things got awkward. He started trying to pawn off his whole inheritance. I told him I wanted none of it. Eventually, he settled for foisting this thing on me. Do you know what it is?
One heck of an axe. He gave it to you?
Yes. It's a magic axe called Freikugel. It's the hero's relic of House Goneril. He said that I should have it, since the crest I bear will allow me to wield it. He was so insistent, I eventually relented. But I don't think I can be responsible for something so precious. Hey, Professor, why don't you take it instead? Heroes' relics contain terrifying power. They're beyond the capabilities of a novice like me. You're the only person I trust to take care of it. Please, help me out here. Thank you so much. I honestly didn't know what I was going to do with this thing. A big, scary axe is not my style. Plus, look closely. Parts of the axe are pulsating, like it's alive. How gross is that? But I'll use it if you tell me to, Professor. Or you could get somebody else to wield it if you like. It's all up to you now.
That Hilda, she really is something.
Professor!
I suppose it's working.
I passed thanks to you, Professor.
Ah, shucks. I guess I did it.
You're wrong. It's not like that, Glenn. I swear it. Any love I once had for my stepsister has been tossed aside. Only hatred remains. If I could tear that woman to shreds right this very moment, I would! I don't care if she's the Emperor. It's no different than killing anyone else. So I beg you, all of you, do not worry about my resolve. Please, Father, and you too, Stepmother, do not gaze at me with that look in your eyes. I will bring you her head soon, and when I do, you may finally rest in peace. I know it. Yes, I know it. What do you want? I see. We should make haste and prepare to move out at once. I must kill her as soon as possible. We have no time to leisurely set up camp. If I must, I will go by myself. Pardon the interruption. We must prepare a counterattack at once. The Imperial army has caught wind of our position. It would seem they were patrolling this place after all. The Imperial army, is it? Well, well. Your Highness, I ask that you please refrain from reckless behavior in battle.
It would seem the report that the Knights of Syros have returned was accurate. This is going to take some effort.
Brother, I heard a rumor that there is a vicious murderer among our enemies.
Well, who knows if there's any truth to it? Though I admit we have lost some soldiers recently. Whether he's among them or not, taking on the Knights of Syros is extremely dangerous. You're not ready for the front lines, Fleisch. Stay in the back and support us from there. Understood?
No! I want to stay with you. I have to...
I need you to understand, Fleisch. I will come back, I promise.
Fine. I trust you, brother. Please, be safe.
All units, prepare to attack!
At the monastery at Garreg Mach, the Kingdom Army proceeds to bolster its forces, but the Empire is already one step ahead. An Imperial vanguard, led by General Randolph, has deduced the location of the Kingdom Army and now advances with the aim of toppling Garreg Mach for a second time.
The Knights of Syros are a powerful enemy, but we have more soldiers. We'll take them down all at once.
There are more enemies than expected. Attacking with fire would prove most useful here.
Report! The enemy has entered the periphery of Garreg Mach.
If they reach the interior, we won't be able to protect the monastery. Drive them back.
More fighting. Winning is what matters. Feels like fighting is all there is.
What's my strategy?
It's over! All is going to plan.
Very impressive.
My orders?
At your service. Why not? I came out on top. This time.
I'll comply. Eventually, I too will fall.
Shall we? Can't afford to slack off. I'm your girl.
I'll cut through.
Sunshine. They were sure to perish.
Guess I have no choice. Don't get used to this. It was the least I could do. You should run. Same old.
Predictable.
It is our...
Strike you down!
Will this ever end?
Just like that. Watch and learn. No hesitation. I must lead them well.
One step closer to victory.
Not giving up. All this violence, and for what? Keep your expectations in check.
I could learn from that.
Fate turns against you. My joke of a life drags on.